Eric, same kind of thing. If you can tell us what was going on with you, and then your results you've had, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. I have to apologize for my English. I'm not a native speaker. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm a pharmacologist. I was introduced to this technology through my wife. She's a dear friend. I think Marcy's a dear friend of hers. And to be honest, I was not very open to it in the beginning, very skeptical because of my background as a pharmacologist. But I had things happening because now 66, at 47, I had a heart infarction, had 3 stents, and the message that I had to take medication, like 4 drugs for the rest of my life. But after a couple of years, I think, suffered from side effects of these drugs. So I had to change them every 6 to 9 months to get rid of my eczema on my skin. And that worked pretty well, but I was not really satisfied with it. So when I was introduced to this technology, I didn't put it on just to see if it works because that's not how I work. I would never put a drug in my mouth to see if it works. I look at the science, I look at the literature. So that's what I did, right? And after studying it, I thought, well, this is really interesting, very elegant way of influencing biological pathways, activating peptides, and signaling the brain to activate stem cells. So, okay, let's give it a try. And what worked for me really immediately that after a couple of weeks, I was totally uh, freed of the side effects of my drugs. So that was a really big win for me. But then after I kept studying it, and I thought, well, I see what it does to your inflammation. I see what it does to your ACE system, to your DPP4 system, the CD26 genes, things like that. So I thought, well, basically, I can probably try to wean off my medication. So I went back to my cardiologist and I proposed exactly that. And he said, well, I don't like that idea. It's against all guidelines. So I don't think you should do that. But I was a little bit, I went to school with him. So I said, no, I really want to try this. He said, okay, it's your life. Let's give it a try. And basically, we weaned off all medication. And I'm talking about an ACE inhibitor, a statin, an ezetimibe, so a cholesterol reuptake inhibitor, and my aspirin. And after 3 to 4 months, I was off all my medication. I'm still monitored by the doctor, of course, and I have my blood panel every year. But everything is within within the norms. And I'm really very excited that they did it for me. So I came from, let's say, more the scientific side, and I learned because I'm an allopathically trained pharmacologist, so I was really not into this kind of modalities. Let me put it that way. But I think this is a great way for almost everybody who is suffering from an age related issue. I don't want to call them a disease because I don't believe they're diseases. But I think if you have an age related issue, whether it's memory or type 2 diabetes or all that kind of things, hypertension, I mean, this is really a very good way to support your body in reversing internal aging. So that's about my story.
That's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah, there's one thing. So when I was 47, I was on the, well, let's call it the operating table, although I was not under sedation, or how do you say it, sedation. I was clear and I was watching the monitor while putting in the stents and talking to my friend. And he said, well, bad news. You have the arteries of a 75-year-old. But now, after using and I was 47, and now after using these patches for almost 3 years, they measure my internal age, also the same method. And I'm happy to say that at 66, now my internal age is like 36, 38. So I reversed it about 25 years. And because I stopped all my medication, I really have to attribute that to, well, activating stem cells, raising my glutathione, and also carnosine, because I think for person with my condition, those are also really good patches to use for several reasons. Yeah.
So that's an amazing story, Eric. One thing that I find so amazing is that 19 years ago, you were 47 and your arteries were, he said, 75 years old. Fast forward 19 years. So you aged for 19 years, put the patch on, and now it's showing your biological age at 36 years.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's that you
it makes sense, right? If you know what stem cells are doing, about cell turnover times, and every cell in your body is eventually replaced, maybe a couple of nerve cells excluded, but all the other cells are replaced. And if you can replace them with younger, stronger cells, you're doing a good thing to your body.
Yes. Absolutely. So just to be clear, you were on those meds for 14 years. You had the 3 stints, and you were really, suffering from those side effects. And so within the first couple months, the coughing and the eczema, those side effects went away.
That's correct. Yes.
And
then I really felt so much better that I thought, hey, maybe I can. So more energized. I felt getting stronger and stronger. And I thought, maybe we can try to get off these meds, because I know they're not like great for. Well, it's something I thought was normal given my background and my mother being a doctor, my father a pharmacist. So I was brought up with the idea of, okay, when you're sick, you take medication. But it's really not, my first choice anymore. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, Eric. And it's amazing. So that was basically 2.5 years ago that you went to your cardiologist and said, I want to wean off.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're completely off of them.
Yep.
And they monitor you regularly, and all of your stats are in normal limits.
Yes, they're within normal limits. I have a little congenital cholesterol issue. It's called dysbeta-lipoproteinuria. So I do not break cholesterol down in a normal way, meaning I will always have a little bit higher cholesterol, but it's within the limits. Yeah. But when I was in the old days, when I had my heart infarction, in combination with my lifestyle, it was too much. So the epigenetics, so what your behavior has also quite an impact then. And now apparently the stem cells are doing the heavy lifting, and I feel really happy about it.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Off the meds after 14 years, and biological age is down to 36, and you're 66. Absolutely amazing story, Eric. I'm so happy for your results, and I'm sure it's just improved the quality of your life in so many ways.
Yeah, it did. And I'm really, I'm also grateful for Marcy that she pointed us out to this. But I really, as I said, I didn't believe it. So I had to do my own research. That took a couple of months. I'm not sorry for that, because I think it's, for a person like me, the way to go. But yeah, it's, I like the whole science of this combining of amino acids, forming into tripeptides, signaling the brain, doing that all kind of stuff. It's all basic biochemistry, so it's not really rocket science, but I think it's very elegant that you can use something like that in a little patch that you can wear 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It's just great.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being our guest this evening. There is a question which I'll go ahead and answer. And so Eric was on the patches for 6 months when he went to the cardiologist to start weaning off all of the meds.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. We'll circle back around in a few months and see what else is going on, Eric.
Okay. Well, I hope that things stay a little bit as this. I do not expect to get any younger soon on the inside, and definitely not chronologically so.
Right. Well, what's so fantastic is now you're 36 and you have the wisdom of a 66-year-old, right? So
I wouldn't say that. That's one step too far, I think.
Okay.